Live. We are live. Let me refresh here.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Connected.
Oh no.
What?
The predetermined time of 6:11 p.m. EST. It's 6:12.
Yeah, well, I typed it before I got the link. We did go live. We went live at 6:11.
We did. Yeah, you guys just weren't in yet.
The announcement was posted at 6.
Yeah. I think Masters first. What's up?
Sounds like John's to me.
It is specifically John's.
Actually, Monkey was second, Martin.
No, Monkey doesn't count.
No.
Yeah, Monkey's not like a real person.
It's okay, I respect you, Monkey. I'll be the number one Monkey fan this season.
Martin's the best.
Well, Monkey
It's
Boy's
just how
not
it
even the
works.
number one Monkey fan this season.
True. Who's the number one Monkey fan according to teams?
I think it's actually, I think it's Ferris. He has Rilla, Ambipom, and Annihilate.
Sorry, my bad. I'm the number one Om Nom 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 fan. That's on me.
Oh, is
Yeah, he's got 3 monkeys.
Toledo
That's
playing
definitely
right now?
monkey
Or is that
fan.
in a different? Is it in a different league that Max is talking about?
Is Toledo playing in NBA or this league?
I'm guessing it's a different league because there's no
Blame Shark for scheduling for a few minutes from
come
now.
on,
He
this
knows
was-
we come on. We come online at 6:11 every Wednesday.
This is the predetermined time.
Yeah. Common Shark
Skip
L.
past turn 1 of this game.
We skipped turn one. Oh no.
By the way, guys, I didn't post this in the announcement, but this is a new YouTube channel that is just for this content. So subscribe to this channel and like the stream because we couldn't even find the link by searching the exact name of the channel when we were putting this live. So it needs some interaction before it'll actually appear in search results.
Also
Like,
subscribe
follow,
to
comment,
youtube.com/Toady.
subscribe, share. Yeah.
Oh, that too.
Something algorithm.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like most of the people who are gonna subscribe already subscribed to my channel because that was
Yeah,
when we were
probably.
doing it before. It did bump me over like 100 subscribers, I think. So what's that?
Well,
Is that like a,
he's
is that
making
like
it big.
copper.
You're like top
play
1%
button?
now.
Yeah.
YouTube.com.
They'll send me a play
Top
button that's just a
1%?
little pin, a lapel pin.
It's just like a
I
nickel
almost
that
just
says
spilled my.
congrats.
I just almost spit took the pin comment. The Diddy Kong sized pin
Yeah.
play button.
Okay, well maybe just wait another sec for people to get in.
Yeah. We got 10 people in, or actually,
We've got a whole first turn to skip over anyways, so we're not in a
That's
rush.
true.
What happened to the first turn here?
Nothing.
Oh, I remember what I said during the turn.
Alright,
The worst part
So-
is because I scrimmed him, and I got him with the same interaction, but it wasn't turn one.
oh no, it was just later.
Yeah, so it felt
Surely
really bad.
they don't click the button. Okay, so what we're planning on doing is we've got a couple replays. We'll probably just stick to one per division moving forward. That's what we've got right now. Short and sweet, nothing too much. Just these are some of the hype battles that we've had take place over week 1. We'll take a look at the standings, maybe see if there's anything we didn't expect, things that we expect to see change, etc. Just opinions on the standings, and then we've got a couple quick announcements at the end, and that'll be it. So short and sweet. Won't take up too much time. Not the actually short and sweet this time, not the 3.5 hour draft analysis that we had last week.
Yeah. By the way, this is something that. What was that? This is something that I just thought of. Because we do want to add in, like, your suggestions for replays.
I don't.
We can open up a channel in Discord where you just post links to the replay that you would want to nominate, or if you'd rather do it in a more anonymous setting, we could do it so that there's just like an open Google poll that you can just like post them in, and then you'll just like put whatever week it is when you submit that, so you don't have to keep changing the link. Because
or even the type of poll that we had when we were like the type of poll we had when we were nominating things on the tier list before might be good as well. I don't know. We haven't ironed that out, but yeah, we're gonna have some sort of like submissions where people can nominate, and yeah, we'll take a look at those.
Yep. So look out for that. We're not just gonna be choosing them all ourselves. So, all right, I say it's time to jump into
let's get into it.
First one here. So
what do we got? So we have Bobarius Zabarith versus Kenpai Kos, or Bobozab and Kenpai. We see the electric terrain with Sneasler on Bobozab, and then there's the patented Lele Chomp. Carnivore would be proud of Kenpai.
So would Shark.
And so would Polito Shark. So I guess what are you guys' thoughts off of leads? Like, what do you guys? I already know what happens turn 1 because that's kind of a meme. But what would you expect to see turn 1?
I mean, you expect Coco.
Coco Torn.
Pretty much.
Versus probably Aggron, maybe I'd say. Aggron's pretty good into like Coco Torn lead.
Yeah.
Curum lead as well.
Predicting one of them.
Yeah, it lets you trade rocks with Bronzong off the bat.
Yeah. Though here's a question: I don't know the answer to this. Maybe it gets shown in the replay actually. Even though Weezing is slower than Coco, neutralizing gas, if they were to both lead, would prevent Coco's ability from triggering, right? So there wouldn't be any.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So it's not like a speed based thing where it's like, terrain cancels out a different terrain. It's like it just doesn't happen because he exists.
Yeah, exactly. You would. That was your goal. You would probably just be Misty terrain because it would have the same effect.
Yeah, because you're unless you're Scarf,
but,
and you don't want to show a Scarf.
Actually, I pulled up the pastes to watch alongside the game because I thought it'd be a cool idea for me to do that. So I know the set for the Lele set as a lead makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
because it is Assault Vest. Spoilers.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, because it can pretty much take a hit from anything except Sneasler, which
and that's
probably aren't going to lead.
Not likely to lead. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's slower than the Coco, so it can get terrain priority.
I mean, you don't want to lead into Bronzong though, and I feel like that's pretty possible.
Shadow Ball. It has Shadow Ball coverage, but yeah, you can get Shadow Ball.
But what is? I guess Bronzong is hitting you with Steel. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, Bronzong probably Okos you with Gyro Ball.
Yeah. We got two free Shadow Ball switches. Let's see what happens though. We know what happens.
All right.
Yeah, get into it.
So we got a Swampert lead versus the Lele. So the Lele, like you said, makes a lot of sense. Pretty much answers most of these options. And there's Energy Ball coverage.
I was watching this game because me and Sid were the soccer moms, and I was like, it gets Energy Ball.
Oh.
And there's the Shadow Ball you just mentioned.
There's the Gyro Ball
we just mentioned.
And he mentioned after that he even went over scrims with the Energy Ball. So there's the Shadow Ball. Does this actually kill? Yeah, okay, it doesn't quite kill, but this is the exact kind of lead that I was thinking of. You don't want this necessarily.
Make sure you're looking at my screen share because I think you're watching this stream.
Oh, am I? Yeah, I am watching.
Because you were a couple seconds behind.
Oh, I'm so behind. I'm like 3 turns behind. My bad.
We're gonna back up a little bit. All right, we're gonna back up to where the.
Oh, there goes the Swampert. Oh, look at that, turn 2.
Yeah. All right, and here's the Shadow Ball again. We just mentioned this. That's the coverage that you bring for the Bronzong. Bronzong hits you with the Gyro Ball. Doesn't quite kill. I don't know if that's a set-based thing or if there's a build interaction there where that does kill. But that's pretty much what you expect from the Bronzong there, coming out and doing what it wants to do. And now we're into the Aggron.
I would have expected a trade of rocks there.
Yeah, Aggron's pretty safe coming in on Bronzong too. I don't really know what
it does reveal a crunch, so it is teched for the Bronzong.
Yeah.
Rocks are up.
I personally would have probably taken that trade of like I'll take 40% of my Bronzong to get up rocks and then go into Torn.
So this is the second. There's 2 assault vests. This is the second one, but that burn is.
That's AV chomp. That makes
yeah.
sense. That did nothing.
That was a rough.
10%.
It's not even AV. It's not even just AV chomp. It's AV HP invested chomp.
Wow.
Can we also talk about how there are moves like Heat Wave that are just like, what if it was just not Flamethrower or Fire Blast? Has a 90% accuracy and has like a different effect of hitting 2 mons, but then let's still just give it a 10% chance to say fuck you to if you're a physical attacker.
Yeah, Lele was AV monkey.
This Coco almost actually stalls out Burned Chomp's Earthquakes.
He had the
this is the Terra Captain though, so it could have Terra. Can we take a quick look at the Terra Captains from the? Do you want to pause for a sec?
It is Terra flying.
So it could have probably Terra flying. Maybe he was going for. Maybe he was trying to like not get hit by a Stone Edge read, for example, because it is revealed. We are playing in Terra. Revealed battles, right?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe not going Terra is fine if you're predicting a Stone Edge, but I probably would have expected a Terra there to happen, especially if you're roosting, because then you don't take damage as much from the Stealth Rock. Yeah. Probably the play.
He says that he forgot, and I made this mistake when I started Gen 9 too. You forgot that if you Terra, you don't lose your stab bonus on your original stabs.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Alright, let's keep moving.
Well, still, you've got Coco up, and Chomp is dealt with, so not bad. I was actually hoping that the U-turn wouldn't happen because of the risk of Rocky Helmet on Weezing.
That's true,
but it does just reveal leftovers here.
Well, and then also,
not Black Sludge,
I think
enough.
I think the Coco is boots, but I remember when I was watching this game being really confused by that decision there, because I was like, if he's not boots, I mean this basically I think it's just the Tornadus is the only one on the team that could be running Defog to get rid of it, and so I was like, oh, I mean he must be planning on bringing Tornadus in at some point to Defog. And then he puts the rocks up. It's like, well, why wouldn't you just do the defog there? You know, and this whole time I'm thinking like, why aren't you clicking defog? Just get rid of him, or else Coco can come back.
I think it is revealed though, right? It is revealed because it came in after rocks were set up. So.
It might have been at some point, yeah. But I just remember thinking this whole time, being like, dude, can he come in on rocks? It's like, oh,
Torn actually just goes down to an Iron Head.
Like the Iron Head
crunch. Yep. And we find the Terra button. And
Lele comes in, removes the terrain.
If this, you kind of have to hope that it's not Scarf at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, it revealed it switched moves turns 1 and 2.
It went from the energy ball to shadow.
Energy ball to shadow ball.
But
Kyurem looks really big.
Simple ball lover.
Like with the fire type not resisting ice.
Yeah, don't comment on that.
Yeah, freeze dry looks really free. It is Terra Ice Grand though. That's interesting. And Grand now we do have Battle Bond legal, and we've actually seen a couple pop-offs with Terra Grand. There was a Terra Electric Battle Bond sweep. It looked pretty decent in this matchup too. Actually, just being ice with a fighting is kind of nice.
Can we go back?
Then you take less from the freeze dry.
Can we go back like 3 turns? So yeah. So I just want to see the Kyurem eat the first low kick. So we have this Fizdef Kyurem that comes in.
Is it Fizdef?
It's Fizdef.
I mean, he's looking at the stats.
The pace. Yeah. It's max HP, 220 defense, and it 51 from a low kick. Yeah,
that's big damage.
Yeah.
I mean, is Kyurem a particularly heavy Pokemon?
Yeah.
I think it's 120 base against Kyurem.
Yeah. So he gets the 40.
Earth Power still does okay damage.
Yeah. I was just expecting to see a roost at some time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the liquidation was for. Maybe it was a prediction, but even then, I feel like
why would you predict? Yeah, like why would Greninja swap out?
Because it's life. It's not an expert belt. Sorry. Yeah. Oh.
Coco's down.
And there's
That might have.
Mom.
I don't want to say that's a throw, but having the Coco up still would have been faster than the Gren. That would have been probably pretty important.
Yeah, instead of
But you
sacking
do
it.
still have the Unburdened Sneaseler to be faster.
Yep.
That'll claim one. And then we
there's
see the
Gale
Gale
Wing.
Gale
Wing
Wing.
Bird.
Really cool tech.
Either
That was really hype. Everybody popped off there.
Yeah,
that was cool tech.
Everybody forgot about it too.
Yeah.
And then Flare Blitz.
It is kind of nuts how it works now, because it's like, yeah, you can literally use Brave Bird once. Like an offensive Talonflame, which was like common before in Gen 6, like before the nerf. You could, Swords Dance and just spam Brave Bird pretty much the rest of the
Yeah,
fight.
it was a
You
pretty
can't-
OP.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously it was banned for a
Dude,
reason.
even
but-
Priority
or
Roost was
nerf for a
strong.
reason. Yeah. Yeah, being able
I
to
think,
just get rid of that weakness.
I think if Bobo found a way to roost on either the Earthquake Guard Shop after tearing, or even on the Kyurem on that liquidation turn, whatever's the Kyurem would have had enough HP, or the Coco would have been able to come in after this.
Yeah, I think if Coco was healthier, maybe dodging one of the Earthquakes to leave Coco at like, what, 55 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
50 plus whatever it was at,
Mhm.
might have been instrumental. Maybe could have
Mhm.
taken something from the Gren.
Well, Gren was Terra Ice, right? And if he was already Terra Flying by then, he's getting hit by that.
Harry's asking, how do I find this channel without the link? Trying to watch my laptop that doesn't have Discord.
So it's
Um,
kind of hard right now because it's like a brand new channel.
Yeah, you should be able
Harry,
to find it by searching now that we
can-
have a stream up.
I can just send it to you, dude, because I'll just send it
Yeah,
on
okay.
Facebook.
Once this video goes up, we'll actually have something that looking up Nahyma Battle Academy will actually bring up
Oh,
a
we found
relevant
it.
channel.
Woo!
Yeah, okay,
You got it. Amazing.
All right. Well, let's not let.
Well,
this,
that was a really
stream
good-
become
I think
4
that was
hours
one
long.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best Truant games. It was actually really close. It came down to the wire.
Mhm.
If there were some minor differences, like even Boots, Kyurem maybe would have saved it, because it did take 50 from Rocks that game.
Yeah.
Maybe switching out of Torn on the Aggron would have changed the game. Clicking Terra one turn sooner on Coco might have saved the game for Bobo. Like, it was a really tight game, and this, as far as I know, was Kempai's first draft battle, actually, her first competitive battle of any sort.
Wait.
Yeah, I think
remember-
she's
I need to
been-
double check something.
I think she's been
Okay.
playing scrims with people on the side, but to come up clutch in your first ever battle against, I mean, Bobo Zeb's a good player, right? He did decently last season. I know Bobo's also fairly new. This is just his second season, but I don't know.
This
Congrats
is-
on winning
this
your first
is-
game. That's really awesome.
This is speed crept for Sneasler without Unburden, I'm assuming. Right?
That looks right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
wondering
Torn.
'cause- But yeah, I'm just wondering because, granted, I don't think you remembered about Gale Wings or like knew that it was really a thing. If you're aware of that, he has a couple mods left. Maybe you bring in one of these guys so he recoils himself, loses his priority. And then if you
but then you
naturally
lose the
outspeed-
Unburden.
Well, right, yeah. But that's what I was wondering.
Oh,
Like,
you're saying-
are there any mods on this team that still outspeed him after the Gren's down? Because you wanted
Yeah,
it for
I
that Gren
gotcha.
kill. That's why I'm wondering if he's speed crept for that, which I'm assuming he is.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's a play. I mean, maybe you can maybe not assume, but like you can hope that, okay, if it's coming in to revenge the Sneasler, that means it's Gale Wings, therefore it's likely to be Adamant, and I outspeed Adamant. I'm not sure.
Right. Or
Maybe there's a line there, but it's a stretch.
or you assume it's defensive and it's coming as a tank of hit. So.
Yeah, true.
That's why the roosting on the Coco turn is so important. Because
Mhm.
if it's alive here, right, it cleans.
Yep. Yeah, if Coco's up, it wins here.
Good
Oh,
game.
well,
though.
that was a really good game.
There are a lot of just like good team building stuff. I mean, granted, I don't want to say it's easy to do, but like these teams were drafted well, right? To just have
Mhm.
built-in synergy, like the Unburden with terrain sitter.
And you know what's funny, actually? I think maybe this is a little unexpected, but I kind of see there's a little bit of merit to this. I actually think a lot of the Truant teams are a lot more like dynamic and actually have like better themes than some of the other divisions. Like I actually think some of the hustle teams, not that the players are bad or that they drafted badly, but like some of them I don't think stand up to the Truant teams if you were to put them like right next to each other. Like if you were to combine Hustle and Truant, I think a lot of the Truant teams would be above the average.
Yeah.
And maybe that's in part to
Smaller division.
due to that's true. It is a smaller division slightly, but I was thinking maybe like the experienced drafters are better at like drafting kind of around what's being drafted around them rather than being so like focused on what's in front of them and what their game plan is. Maybe they're looking at what other people's game plans are and making kind of, you know, having some leeway and being like, okay, instead of taking this, I'll take this because it helps me with my rain matchup that I'm likely to have or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and if you're more like decided on exactly what you want to take and you map that all out, and then you just get lucky and then it gets sniped, you know, like then you end up with a more clean team. Whereas I know in our divisions where it's kind of like you are expecting to get sniped and you are budgeting your team around not shooting yourself in the foot because you banked too hard on getting a specific mon. So you end up, you know, when you don't get sniped or if you do like follow your plan that accounts for maybe my original idea would have gotten sniped, then you end up with a maybe not as coherent team or cohesive rather team, but still one that works and might not look as synergistic on the surface. At the same time too, it's kind of like when we were talking about my particular team in Swarm, where I have a lot of like my points are spread out across a lot of mid tiers because I like to do sets with those, like make more creative sets and kind of go off the wall with some of the stuff. Whereas with Tron, if you're a new drafter, you're going to be more inclined, especially if somebody's helping you with your draft, to draft more kind of like tried and true, these things work together things, you know? That's going to be recommended to you over, oh, you should try and get, you know, like this Fortress is a bad example because it's just a spinner, but like just like think of any like mid-tier mon that like could sweep a game, right? Like I'm not going to be telling people to do Tailwind 2 cannon, you know, like I did in season 1, where it's just like, you know what, why not do it?
Yeah,
but I wouldn't recommend that.
Harry has some good points in chat about hate drafting. I agree. I think in Pokemon it's a lot different, especially knowing that you can trade things into the bank and stuff with your free agents. So I think there's a lot of nuance to it, but yeah, I won't get too much into it.
Yeah.
That was a really good game. So that's the highlight Truant match for the week, and next up we've got the Swarm highlight, and this one's actually kind of a banger. We've got Luke Nukem versus Ira. We featured Ira, I believe, in a couple battles at the beginning of the season, right? When we did a recap of season 2, and there were a couple other battles on the side that we found from other people. So funny to see Ira featured here. But I mean, the battle's really good. I think we can just watch it.
This was Ira's first game after being promoted.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, first battle in Swarm up against Luke, who I don't remember how Luke performed last season. I think he was
just
5-3, 4-4.
Just shy. It came down to the result of one other game.
He
4-4 with. Yeah, unfortunate. So not necessarily a top playoff contender that you would expect from last season, but like Luke showed up really well. I think he's rather new also, but he's picked up the game really quickly. And I think he's established himself very well in the Swarm division.
Even from the games last season that we saw, it's not like he was playing poorly in them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's just a natural.
Yeah. Fun fact about both replays we've featured so far, Luke and Kempai's teams are the only teams I gave in their divisions a 10 out of 10.
Oh, so interesting.
We got the... Yeah, look at that.
There you go.
Spoilers, our Hustle division does not have that, but...
Yeah, we do see another Coco team. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And a Greninja, but it's on. They've teamed up this time.
Wow. We also see Mega Glalie. Now, this is not something that you'll see very often, but it's definitely fine. Probably, I don't think it's that great into like Scizor, Heatran, Milotic by any means. I mean, this is a freeze try, but
its set is pretty cool. Like, yeah, You want to talk about it, or just want to see what happens?
Let's talk about the set when we see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's hit play. Let's see what happens.
There's the Coco lead.
The Coco lead
Scissor lead
against the Scizor. This is a very basic Basically, we'll probably see. Oh, I actually expected a U-turn there from Scizor.
Don't
Just
forget,
trading U-turns.
like, you know, for anyone who did forget, like I just did for half a second. Neutral. Steel is neutral to Coco because he's also electric type.
Yeah. Iron Defense versus the Swords Dance.
So I don't know if I like the setup here when there's still a Zapdos alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of testing the waters, but I agree. If Corv U-turns there, you're kind of just losing.
I also think that I don't really like the setup on either side there, because
we see the Haze Milotic.
Because setup Scissors also like not really going to do anything to Corv. Like, so it's like you're not really going to get.
Yeah,
anywhere.
so Corv definitely wins that matchup just like by nature of body press.
Yeah, well, and the fact
that
Haze
you're not
getting anywhere with boosting because he's also just boosting, but he has, you know, I mean, I guess you both could have recovery, but one of you's an offensive mon and one of you's a defensive mon.
Haze Milotic is really nice for shutting that down, though. It'll outspeed the taunt, so it'll still always be able to get a Haze up or a Haze off if there's set up like a bulk up Corv, for example. And the Flame Orb, I'm a known Flame Orb Milotic hater.
We know.
But it is nice when you're up against other bulky waters that will want to Toxic you.
Well, in this case, this one wanted to Scald you, so you could be running lefties and then just get that burn from the Scald.
Yeah, that's kind of my argument about why I don't like it sometimes, where it's like, dude, just run lefties, and if you need to, you can rest, it's okay. Or just get the burn from switching into Scalds.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the Flame Orb against the Toxic, if you don't have room for rest, is nice.
Wow.
Terra Blast from the Heatran on the Toxic, predicting the Heatran that was already revealed Terra Grass from the start.
So yeah, I don't. That read was sick. I don't know how often you'll see a Heatran being switched into a Gastrodon attacking. So but maybe it was a bit you like had an idea of what the plan was with that switching. But I was
I do think it was.
You have to have the confidence to press the Toxic on a Steel type.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering if maybe there is a world where that Terra Blast kills, and that's what he's banking on.
Maybe. We do see the Battle Bond proc and a Swords Dance into a revealed Haze. I think that was probably a misplay. I think in the post game. Yeah, I forgot. Post game, Ira wasn't very happy with that move, but
yeah, it's still sick though. Swords Dance Greninja is super cool because that's new apparently.
Terra Poison going for another SD versus Zapdos. This is pretty dangerous.
Can we pause the game for a second? Just so I don't. Sorry. Who would have predicted that both? Do we at least 50%? Both Greninja sets we've seen so far, and both physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SD I think is one hell of a drug for Greninja users right now, because I think the flavor of the month is not using Protean and just using Battle Bond instead, and SD is one of the best ways of being able to get a win off of that. Usually before, when Ashgren used to be a thing, instead of just like Battle Bond giving a stat boost, was you would just run specs so that you would just get the proc and be stronger for the rest of the battle. But now that it's a lot more fragile of a gameplay, like since you just get the temporary stat boosts, I think SD is something that you're trying to close out the game with this set.
Yeah. The
I
priority is less necessary. Being special.
Had to go and check the Hustle replay for which we aren't going to spoil the show. There's no Greninja in that one. It was a special Greninja, but fun fact: all 3 Greninjas this week all ran Expert Belt.
Oh, that's another interesting fact. I'm not sure. So, is it that good though?
I think it's good in draft.
I feel like wouldn't you just rather something like I don't know, I don't want to say Life Orb, but like whatever stab you plan on attacking with, maybe like a Mystic Water or even like a Poison Barb.
No, I see why they've done it, because I did it a couple times when I had Greninja Season 1. Granted, that was before we had Battle Bond or Protean, but there were a lot of times where it's like, I would check if Expert Belt does the calc that I need it to, then I'd rather do that than take the chip, and I have the flexibility to switch moves around, you know, because anything that you're prepping for a draft and you're prepping a choice mon that gets walled by certain things, like Greninja doesn't have an incredible special attack stat, so it's not like specs Chi-Yu that like you don't even want to swap a resistant on it usually, you know, like you can swap a resistant on Grin and then suddenly you're on the back foot, and there's a lot of matchups like that where it's like, oh, I can call out the flying type swap with my Ice Beam, but if I'm wrong, I'm hitting, you know, a non-Protean, non-stab Ice Beam without any kind of like with just specs, right? It's not really going to do that much. Whereas, you know, if I click something else like Surf, they come in on that, then I'm still faster. I click Ice Beam, and that's enough to kill. You know, like that's
right. But Battle Bond,
yeah.
But like Battle Bond on its own is a very like one and done. I'm trying to end the game. So if you, let's just say, mispredict, and you click Ice Beam on a flying type, the flying type switches into a water type. At least you've done 30% more damage, and now you're more likely to have a roll.
Right, I'm just saying that comes down to the calcs. Like it's a matchup specific thing, and really the difference between Expert Bell and Life Orb, if you're just bringing him for like certain matchups, isn't that big. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if those calcs were just close enough that Expert Bell was more worth it than taking the self.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. Anyway, let's get back into it. You want to go back like go back a turn or so? I think so Zapdos set up against. I think it actually set up against the Milotic as it flip turned.
Gren setup. Yeah. So he clicks Sword Stance here. It is the Terra.
Yeah, BSD is really dangerous.
Right? Yeah. And he drops the weakness because he's expecting the Volt Switch, but again, you don't really know what he's trying to do here with the Melodic existing that can just come in and haze. Well,
the Bullet Punch doesn't quite kill.
Yeah.
Liquidation, hey, that's pretty pitiful. You know that's +2.
You know what would kill though is Bullet Punch and then Life Orb. So
true.
So you know, big decision there. Or actually, Life Orb the turn before would have put you in range.
A lot of setup brought this game for Myra. Wow.
Which is, I think, it's a really key point to have the Haze Milotic, and now potentially an Encore on Screamtail.
Yeah, I personally would not run Iron Defense Corviknight against at least two of these. Like these are two of the worst possible mons you would be running Iron Defense Body Press against. Quad resist.
Yeah, I
gonna ignore it completely. Static.
But it does keep Scizor in check. Resisted. If you aren't Iron Defense, how do you beat Scizor?
Rocky Helmet. He can't rip pads.
Rocky Helmet. Yeah, he can't be pads, but
what's
still
he gonna hit you with? Fire Punch?
What? He's got superpower. Knockoff.
But they're neutral though. Your defense is so high.
Yeah, but okay, hold on, pause for a sec. Your defense is high, but if he's at +6, Knockoff's gonna 2-hit KO you if you're not Iron Defense. And at the very least, it'll run you out of roosts. So if you're not Iron Defense, you can't actually just beat the Scizor on 1v1 it. And there's nothing else on the team that really does 1v1. There's no fire type that stands out. You know, like even a Banded Terrakion doesn't KO. And it's not like Terra Fire Gren, which even then I don't think it has Terra Blast even. So
yeah, I like the Iron
Gren
Defense.
Definitely has Terra Blast. What are you talking about?
I don't like it. I guess I don't like the way it was played because you almost played it like it was trying to win every time.
Yeah.
Because you can Iron Defense second on the Scizor, right? Like if it SDs, you can then Iron Defense after.
Yeah. I guess that's part of it too. Is that it was going in with the idea that like you are trying to get a setup turn against this team.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to counter the Scizor.
Yeah, I agree.
100% of the time.
Fair enough. All right, let's hit it.
Yeah. Well, and part of that too is Iron Defense Body Press takes up so much of its moveset when it already wants to be running Defog, Roost, U-Turn, Brave Bird, you know.
Into a Zapdos matchup, honestly, every Corv set is going to feel bad.
True. Yeah. And especially if you
this is
wanted
only
to
doing
run
28% out of terrain. That's going to get one shot. And it doesn't look good suddenly for Ira. Again, the Corv has to come in because that's the only thing that can come in. And then see, this is kind of the only play that you have. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Now at least it forces it out, and that's better than losing.
But again, what if you're running Rocky Helmet there though? He has to stop to roost.
I mean, you guys just trade roosts with each other, and then you still don't have anything to really kill the Scizor.
It's Encore set 2 is really...
It is Encore Screamtail.
Yeah.
We say Mega Glalie is in. And it's hard to say what it'll really have for Screamtail. It does set up a spike.
I mean,
maybe Terra Fire Greninja as a punish on the Scizor.
Yeah.
May have been nice.
Tail is faster, does Encore the Glalie into its spikes.
Is this a Defog audience? I forget.
It's actually not.
3 layers up. It's actually a crazier set than Defog. Gets a calm mind, and it doesn't look good suddenly. It'll outspeed everything, especially after an agility.
Quiver Dance.
Yeah, Quiver Dance +1 speed.
Quiver Dance Gladios.
And there's nothing I can do now about
it's just
this.
Like desperation at that point.
Yeah, this was Defog, Iron Defense, Body Press, Roost, Corbinite.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Defog is a crutch, but if that was a U-turn, it would have been much better.
But U-turn into Zapdos just always feels bad, right?
But every Corbinite set sucks.
It is true. It's like what you said. It's like you don't have a good set for Zapdos when you're running Corvs. You're either running Corvs strictly to come in on Scizor and do nothing else, or you're not running it.
Yeah, true. And I guess maybe what's it called? Gastrodon could have tried to simulate something similar. I'm pretty sure it has haze. I know it has clear smog, but I don't think that works against Scizor.
No, because it's steel. Because it has to do the damage for it to happen. I think it has.
Yeah, maybe that's kind of your only out.
The other thing you could do is honestly, why not?
Yeah, it's true. You did win. You win.
Do like a red card.
You did win the nickname battle. It's like half the points.
I feel like
and so the winner of week 1 was actually Ira, who wins based on by default from Luke forfeiting with no nicknames.
That's true.
GG.
GG. We should probably change it.
Now that was a really good game. You want to take a look at the sets?
I'm gonna go change that on the hustle thing.
Yeah.
All right. So the cool Glalie set I want to talk about, because you mentioned how it seemed bad into the team. It's really, really cool because it's got the spikes, but it's also got mixed. It's mixed. It has Earthquake for Heatran, which is a fun Glalie move it gets. It's naive, so it's got no negative on the opposite attack for that Earthquake. Mm-hmm. But it's also running Freeze Dry for the Water type, Melodic.
Yeah.
And Terra Blast.
Nice.
Because Terra Blast with Mega Glalie's Refrigerate ability means it's an empowered Ice type move, and I think it's its best Ice type. Is it? Does it get Ice Beam?
Yeah, it's actually stronger than Ice Beam after Refrigerate, which is really funny that normal Terra Blast.
Who is the Freeze Dry for?
Milo.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm outing the sauce that was posted in the Poke Pastes.
Yeah.
You Goomba. Go back to bed. I'll see you in 5 minutes. No freeze chance, though. That is a good point. You can't win by hacks if you run this. So it's the more honest move. I think you do get Hyper Beam. You could do that.
Oh, God. I'm just looking at the rest of these sets. So that was a especially defensive.
That's true. If you want to go for the freeze hack, you just click the freeze try button. Otherwise, Terra Blast is your bet.
Ice Punch.
It's really cool. Kraken was an SD set. Otherwise, we had like max HPs, no physical or attack invested Coco, which is why that T-Bolt was doing so little.
Is Ice Punch for Zapdos?
I think so.
I feel like that's just...
And I guess it's for Zapdos and hitting Latios instead of the dark
too,
move.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
Yep.
Why not just use the dark move? Like, why not use like Night Slash or something? I don't know. I feel like you don't really
that hits Zapdos less.
Yeah, but you don't really want to be hitting Zap as your fast mon.
Actually, you could just Terra Poison Gunk Shot into the Zapdos and then
you can't defend Expert Belt and then say just run Stab.
That's true.
No. I was saying that there's a reason to run Expert Belt in some matchups. I'm saying in a physical, specifically in this matchup, a physical Greninja. I don't really know why you're running physical Greninja into Zapdos. So.
I feel like the SD Terra Poison Gunk Shot does a shit ton of damage to that Zapdos.
But then why are you running coverage for Zapdos?
I don't know.
I don't know what else is on the team.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think
the other
my
ice
problem
type.
With Expert Belt,
the ice type hits them.
That's my problem with Expert Belt, though, is that you kind of need to have the perfect set against like the 6 that the opponent brings. And if you brought a grass move, for example, for their ground type that they didn't bring, I don't know, their like Seismitoad, for example, you just have a dead slot because it's not boosted from your item. You're not clicking it against anything else.
Yeah, ideally
there is a Torterra that wasn't brought to this game.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then for those match. Yeah, because then you got 3 mons that you're hitting with that at least. Cool.
Wow, Latios, Megasis, or Torterra.
That's a lot of mons that will have
That is
3
a lot of
stats
mons that I'm
boosted.
facing this. That's a lot of mons I'm facing this week.
Uh-oh.
All right, last
All right, well,
one.
that was a really good game, actually.
Yeah.
And so, okay, yeah. Our last matchup in Hustle is my own battle against Overmat.
Yeah, he didn't want to put this on here, but we forced him to.
Yeah, the previous season champion, who he's kind of been my inner
Nemesis.
demon. I haven't beaten him probably the last like 4 or 5 times I've played him.
Scotty, you got to embrace the mad EV spreads speed creep like a
Yeah. So I won't say too much about my thoughts until maybe after, and we can compare maybe what you guys are thinking versus what my thought process was, because I think some moves are kind of sus. Some decisions are pretty sus too, especially with Cresselia. It kind of looks like I'm throwing, but I can explain stuff later. So if you guys want to hit it, and I can touch on stuff when you have thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think the last time you beat Matt would have been that Civil War season we did in the other league.
Yeah, that was like what, a year or so ago.
That was like 2 or 3.
2 years ago. Yeah, I haven't beaten him for a while.
All right, so the Terra captain over Matt's team is clearly Terra Bug Mega Mawile. So I'm going to be ready for that.
Terra Fairy Lando.
Yeah.
What do you think that's for?
Wait, what was the deal with yours? Like, why is
I can't change Ogreppon's fire.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I'm Fire, Quaquaval, and Steel Cresselia.
So yeah, I like the Steel Cresselia. I like that Fire Quavel sort of acts as like a deterrent to Mawile.
Hit the shit.
Yeah, there is a Baxcalibur that is on the bench this game as well that really put a lot of pressure on my build. I wanted a Terra type on Quaquaval that could take an Ice Shard so that I could boost up and not worry too much, but still have like damage to deal with other things that I needed. And that's kind of the reason for the Steel Crest as well. It's good into Mawile and it's good into the.
So I'm looking at the team. Monkey Boy also helped me out here. There's a Roaring Moon that you brought to your game today that I completely forgot you had.
Yeah.
So that explains the Terra Fairy on Lando.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he doesn't have a real fairy type.
Oh, does he not? Well, he has
Mawile,
right? But yeah, okay.
That's for the offensive
It's like a fake fairy.
All right. Nickname battle already won.
All right. So I guess you bring in the Nidoking. What were you expecting on the lead there?
I was hoping for anything that wasn't Keldeo.
That's probably why he brought Keldeo.
I was like, hold up, pause for a second. The only thing that I kind of didn't have anything for was I was like in pregame, like when I'm building, I'm like, I just really hope he doesn't bring specifically modest specs Keldeo, because the only thing I have for it is revenging it with Ogerpon. And that's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I totally expected this game to be played yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. We were gonna extend, but we kind of just right fucking nowed. I had an essay that I had to work on over the weekend, so I wanted it out of the way.
Yeah.
But the Nidoking was actually Scarf, hoping for a Lando snipe right off the bat with Ice Beam.
That's what I was thinking. It's like you're predicting the Lando lead.
Yeah, it was.
Nidoking does that.
Yeah. So it is in fact modest specs, and he does get the burn. Though? Yeah, it's Scarf Nido.
And you don't have anything that would kill this? I guess not.
No, Thunderbolt doesn't kill. I think I was running. We can take a look at the sets later, but I don't think I had both.
Either. I mean, you're not running.
I have Sheer Force.
I meant
yeah, no Life Orb.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, this Scald doing 50 sucks.
and then also taking the burn.
Yeah, this thing's probably modest with like a little bit of at least above 60 HP investment. So that Nidoking's not gonna do anything.
You figure that's a good mon to like get that scouting information on too, instead of just actually having him on one hit KO. You know.
Yeah. It is slightly a roll to do a little bit less than 50 on Crest, which is nice. So I took the chance to. This is kind of the move that I thought was a little sus. If you want to pause for a sec, I can explain this, and then I won't talk again for a sec. I kind of knew right from the bat. I was like, I'm just losing to this Keldeo. I kind of need some luck here. So, but there was like probably a 30 to 40 or so % chance of me taking, depending on the first Scald roll. If I take a low Scald roll on the first one and then I CM, I have a pretty good chance of living the second one. I'm at +1, and then I can heal up from there. Yeah, even after the burn.
Okay.
It was like a very, very tight calc, but I'm figuring this is kind of my out. But I think Matt got scared that I was just gonna like heal up and stall or switch in a quick wave, or I don't know, something.
Yeah.
He ended up switching out on my Calm Mind, and I was like, wow, thank you. That really works.
But now this isn't at full HP anymore, and so you can't really bring it back in on the Keldeo later.
Yeah, exactly.
Which explains the move that you're about to press to hit play.
Honk.
Yeah.
Bonk. That didn't
do much.
But I'm looking at the damage. I'm like, wow, I can heal up.
And then
if he doesn't have a fighting move.
If he doesn't have Brick Break.
Yeah.
What?
I was really hoping it wasn't Focus Punch right there.
All right.
Don't read the chat. There's an inappropriate word.
And then, yeah.
I just have to sack something here, and then revenge. This is the only play I have, basically, against Vex Keldeo.
Well, yeah, you said he just has to revenge.
But you predict the switch out, which is good.
Funny enough, I probably could have just stayed in and like hit a grass move and then stomping tantrumed it.
Oh yeah, because you're Mold Breaker.
Yeah, Mold Breaker.
Get up the rocks.
This is great right here. This exchange.
Yeah.
Eat the tasty berry.
Yum, 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 yum.
Okay, so now I'm remembering this. I got confused why he kept clicking overheat.
I think he was crit fishing. Either crit fishing or saying, I'm just going to hope that you get low enough that Lando can come in and KO you after.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of weird. It's like wasting your own reflect turns for that too.
But then I kind of just refused to kill the Rotom.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, what are you going to do? You only have 8 of these.
A lot of time recovering.
Yeah.
And so just
I'm really hoping you click Shadow Ball on this turn. Or even like Make It Rain.
That's where I expected it, but I don't think you do. Yeah.
Oh, you nasty butt.
Yep.
At least
this is when he knows he's fucked. So that's when he
do it now and kill this. Would have been high.
It would have been nice. I didn't.
Yeah.
So this pump missing is actually pretty big. If you want to pause on there, so modest specs. I think it has like exactly one roll that kills max HP Goldengo. It's like a 6.3% chance to kill. But it missed, and I mean, nothing actually changed this from this outcome, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's what it kind of ended up being at the end, was that like it didn't end up making a difference, but
yeah, it would have been nice to hit the pump and leave me at like 1 HP.
Yeah.
But like, you're still going Rotom Heat anyway, and that overheat's gonna...
Yeah.
Oh!
We live those.
Yeah, you would have died here, and then...
And then are you recovering again? I forget.
So I would have died there, and I do recover here.
Oh, there is a... I believe was missing the Roaring Moon on the freaking screen.
So this Earthquake, actually, I'm max defense bold here, and it actually reveals specifically Adamant Soft Sand or Band.
Oh, really?
It's either Band or Soft Sand, so I knew that I outsped Lando here.
Yeah, it's Sand.
So you just survive.
Max HP.
Yeah.
With Matt's signature 16 speed on something.
Yeah.
Possible take notes.
I figured that this would be Colberberry for my knockoff here.
Oh yeah,
and I figured that Quavel's actually just as good a win con as Moon here.
Oh yeah, this was a funny turn.
Well, especially if you know.
Oh right, okay, hold up, pause for a sec. People are saying in chat, "Oh, it must be teleport. It must be teleport." Yeah. Glow King doesn't get teleport.
Yeah, I had to look it up afterwards. Went, oh wait, it doesn't get teleport. And then it took me about 2 minutes to go, what the? Oh my god, Lagging Tail.
It was Lagging Tail with what's it called? The Chili Reception to try like basically emulate teleport. I think Colberberry was definitely a better item.
That was kind of a.
That kind of just.
That was a big set. No, it was Sludge Bomb, Yawn, Trick Room, Chili Reception with a Lagging Tail.
Boop.
Yeah, so that claims 1.
And then...
Oh wow, scary.
Yep.
I figured I can't let this thing sub or SD or whatever for free.
Yeah, just get a move on it.
This was a great play here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just waste that trick room.
And you go back
I know
out.
the pawn's my out here.
Pawn it out and hope it's not Scarf Shaman, essentially.
Yeah, basically. Scarf
Yeah.
air slash specifically beats me. It was already revealed no sucker punch as well, so I could freely click a move there.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So pause here. At least from the
wait, yeah.
spectating, like, from the spectating standpoint, that turn was a lot more intense for us than I guess for you, because you calced the adamant soft sand.
Mhm.
But we're sitting here like wondering if this thing is Scarf because we had no idea your Goldengo was
Right.
max defense.
Uh-oh.
Right? So I'm like, is this Scarf is real bad?
Yeah, Scarf wins there.
I don't know if it revealed move switches, but it could have, and I missed it. No, yeah,
I
it
don't
did.
think so. It's only
Yeah.
click DQ.
Only click DQ. So when I was watching, I'm like, oh no, is this Scarf? Is it over?
So I'm gonna go back here. So,
Adamant no HP Scarf is a set Matt would run. So
So
Yeah.
here's what I was wondering, and I was trying to do the math in my head, and I wasn't sure, and I kind of forgot about the rocks at the time. But is there a scenario where you kind of forget the trick room, whatever, take out your Mawile, not because you're preserving the Mawile, it's not going to do anything to what's left here because they just outspeed it. Go to your Lando and get the Intimidate. Does he die? I guess he does die to the Intimidate.
well, I
Maybe
thought
because I couldn't
about
do it
this
before.
because Lando is getting rock chipped.
Yeah, that's what I had forgotten
and-
originally.
and,
was like, oh, he
yeah.
won't eventually. He eventually
Yeah,
will
so-
not survive it. Yeah.
Every time that Lando was in, with whatever my attack was, like however many intimidates it got off, I always had a cudgel kill because of the rocks.
Right.
So the Scarf rocks ended up coming in clutch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I ended up realizing at the end. Is like, yeah, because he's just taking damage from coming in.
Mhm.
But you know, in a situation where no rocks or even boots, that might be the play. Is just whittling
Yeah.
down his attack until eventually you just survive it.
Yeah.
But I think we're skipping ahead of where we were.
Yeah, we're a couple of turns ahead now, but it basically just cudgels a few times, and I switched to my Quack to get the double intimidate off.
Yeah, because then you just guarantee then he can just come back in and kill the last two with the unchanged attack. You know, that was always the key, is just
If you
keeping
go,
this
if you
Quack
go
alive.
Shame in there, you turn into Quavo and bring this back out and
So
click.
here-
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's
Puzzle.
a scenario I'm curious
So that was
about.
a silly mistake that I made also, is I just hard switched when I have U-turn. It was kind of just nerves. I forgot that I had U-turn. I could have just easily clicked U-turn there.
Well, I mean,
I have to
I guess
assume
if
that
he's
not-
Scarf either way, yeah, you lose either
I've
way,
lost
so,
regardless, right?
Whatever.
So,
Yeah, he sees the leftovers come off and he's like, "Oh, sweet."
yeah.
Crit!
And the
Crit
cudgel
mattered.
kills.
Crit
It does
mattered.
crit,
mattered.
and it
Crit
technically
mattered.
does confirm a roll. It was like a 90-something, I think. It was a very high roll to kill because of
It
the rock
was-
chip.
So not hacks, just good.
It's
But-
248 HP, no defense versus. What were you, Jolly?
Yeah, it was max Charlie.
No, you were at. Yeah. What were you speed tying with the Jolly?
I don't remember. Maybe Shaman?
I'm gonna test something real quick here on the cap.
Yeah,
Let me bring up the.
yeah. I mean, that's one of those things where I think I just run Adamant because I know Matt's never gonna run Jolly.
Yeah, true. And if we just play it as like, oh, I clicked U-turn on the turn that I didn't,
Yeah.
248.
you know, it's like, it wasn't actually a winning scenario, but then I goofed and got bailed out, so it's whatever.
248, and you're
Yeah, that with the rocks, that's a guaranteed Oko
Yeah, okay.
without the crit. But with the leftovers recovery, it's like,
Yeah, it was at 94, technically.
yeah, then
So it is a roll.
it is a 87.5% chance.
Nice. So I had an 85% chance to win there. Harry, Matt never runs Jolly just because we've been playing with Matt for so many years that we just know that he doesn't care about speed. His game style is very trade heavy, so he'll just run like max HP, max attack on his things. just hit you harder than you hit him.
I don't feel like resizing this one.
I think the first time I ever beat Matt, and sort of was when I figured that out, and my record against him has been really good since. I ran Latios with specs, and I just put 0 speed into it.
Nice.
Wait, what was the shaman HP?
It was max HP, max def.
Okay. So here's what I see. I see this is your you can't really see it off screen on this.
Yeah, Polito. Shaman also doesn't even kill the Ogre Pawn there because it didn't have Air Slash. Earth Power does like 30.
So you win unless he crits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 252 Jolly, right? That's what you have.
Yep.
Ivy Cudgel.
Yeah, 92.
Yep. He's at 94%.
Oh, he was at 94. Okay, right, because of rocks.
87.5, yeah. That Lander set was 240 HP with 16 speed.
I'm seeing guaranteed Oko after rocks, unless he had the leftovers.
Yeah, but it took rocks and then healed from leftovers because I switched into my Quack.
So the question I was curious about is if for whatever reason Quack was dead, you didn't have a swap, what -2 would look like. -2.
Yeah, it is still a 2 KO, right? After.
Yeah, 61% chance. Well, yeah, after. Wait, oh no, because he's not holding lefties.
Put in rocks, yeah.
He will. It is something he runs speed on, but like that
90 what?
Rotom Heat he ran speed on for the Goldango, I think.
What percent?
But that one makes sense.
Well, it would have been at 100. Just put it at 100.
Oh, okay. Back to
because it wouldn't be at 94. Because there wouldn't have been. You're saying I don't have Quack to switch into to drop the Intimidate, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so just put in with rocks and it's a 2 KO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
98.
That's a huge chance
so
too. Yeah.
It didn't really matter that I saved the quick wave for a sack later.
And also you critted, so it would have ignored the same.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was max defense or anything like that. I was playing to just KO every shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are the replays for the week.
Yeah. Matt and I were in call for this whole game, and we were chatting, and he was pretty salty about the Hydro Pump miss, but he's like, honestly, man, you just kind of outplayed me. It was a really good game. I'm happy with the outcome, even though I lost, kind of thing. So, kudos to him. He was really, really sportsmanlike about it. And Matt's always fun to play. We have a long-standing rivalry, so it was a fun time. And it felt good as well because the last couple seasons I've had pretty slow starts to the season. Usually, like losing pretty early. But getting right out of the gate, just beating last season's champion feels pretty good. Not gonna lie.
And now you're 2-0. Wait.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
All good. See, those are our replays. We'll take a quick look at the standings. This is the Truant standings.
Yep, I'm gonna go.
Anything stand out to you about Truant right now?
I'm gonna pull it up on my screen.
Yeah, I think personally, I know that it's only one weekend, but seeing Crabbit right at the top. Crabbit, I believe, is new, right?
Mm-hmm. Crabbit. Tony. Oh yeah, Crabbit, who gave harsh reviews to the review, but came out swinging with the Megazard Dragon Dance.
Oh yeah, this team, yeah. But we were right about the fact that Chiyu did not get any of that sun. It was gone by the time Chiyu came out. That was just a team that can fling out some fire moves, and it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's awesome that Crabbit's right at the top off the bat. I think I'm surprised that Tony got kind of smacked up like he did, honestly, because I actually hold Tony to be one of like the best of the division personally. But I mean, hey, it's 1 week, it happens. Technically, Obobozab is in a playoff spot at 0-1 with -2 diff.
I noticed that. It's like it's split halfway down the middle, but the playoffs is literally just one past the halfway point.
Yeah. Can't say I'm too surprised. I do think, Crabbit and maybe Dave Grigger are my two surprises, and Kenpai. Those three, I'm pretty sure, were like brand new to their games, and they all won their first week.
Well, Dave played in my other leagues.
Dave plays with you. Okay.
Yeah.
What's neat is that other than the game that we watched, it seems all the other games were pretty one-sided based on just differential alone.
Yeah, true. A lot of
4 and 5s.
6 4s and 5s. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's usually what happens week 1 too. I mean, you have first of all there are the mons that are just like, oops, that mon just 6-0s if you don't prepare for it, right? Like somebody will notice that, and it probably won't happen again, or at least it won't happen a lot again. And then you also have the other side of that, including not players like me because I don't make mistakes, but like setting the wrong sets on teams, or like just doing something wrong with your building in general, or
people are still feeling out their mons. There's a lot of
yeah.
new Pokemon that just got added too. Like in the Swarm division, for example, week 1 you're up against like Ursaluna Blood Moon with the Terra Captain, and you're like, it's like a normal and ground type, right? And then you get 6-0'd by it, and it's like, well, this feels bad. I didn't think it would be this good. But the week 2, week 3, week 4 opponents who see Ursaluna pop off like that know how to prep for it better.
Right.
So yeah, I do think week 1 is kind of hard to judge because there's so many surprise factors, especially in like a semi-new generation right now.
Yeah, and it also puts the pressure on the user of those more broken mons to find to decide between, okay, maybe Terra Poison Ursaluna Blood Moon is a really good set, but if you run that 4 out of the 5 past weeks, people are gonna prep for that, or you should assume that people are going to prep for that. Are they going to? You don't know. Are you going to run Terra Poison and it works because they didn't prep for it, because they didn't check your past matches and it's the best option that you have? Maybe. Or are you going to risk it, run a slightly worse set, and they didn't prep for it anyway, right?
I think Truant Division is going to be a tight race, honestly. I think there's a lot of, like, the new players are going to be very good. I think there's a lot of promise in some of the noobs, and they seem really determined to get better. Actually, there's a lot of talk with like the new players. Like I've been talking with a couple of them, and everybody seems really excited to be in the scene. So I'm also excited to see how it shapes up.
More on that topic later. All right.
Yeah. Swarm Division. There are some week 2 battles that have happened since
only one,
because it is
only
Wednesday.
One's recorded, I think.
No, there's 4.
Oh,
sorry, 2 recorded.
One's in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. So there are some people who are like 1-1, and obviously you see Royce at 2-0. That's what I was talking about with the Blood Moon.
Who's this guy?
Which guy?
Right, this little dude right
that
here.
little dude up there, the little cute little bear guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way he's Terra legal, right? I mean, like, come on. Like,
surely, we wouldn't want that.
All right,
that'd be
Captain.
pretty busted.
What the? He's a Terra Captain.
All right, even just including week 2 results, though, I'm not surprised to see Royce Nova at the top. Like, I think I mentioned even at the beginning of the season, Royce was one of the guys that I had kind of wanted to move up into Hustle. I think he's really done well. I'm pretty sure he was 6-2 last season.
He was 6-2. I don't
think
remember last season. He was undefeated season 1.
Up until he finished 6-2 season 1. I think he finished 3rd, and last season he finished 7th. But 2 for 2 on playoffs.
Yeah, regardless, I think he's very heavily cemented himself into the top, at least the top of Swarm Division, and I think given the trajectory so far this season, he's a likely candidate to be promoted next season, depending on probably Hustle, like the bottom of Hustle's results. I'm not even sure if anybody will get relegated, but I think definitely a top candidate just right out of the gates. It does help that you've got Ursaluna Blood Moon with Terra, but I mean, hey, you take those.
We see both out of class.
Yeah, we see Leezy with the 6-0 week 1. That was a funny match. That was the crazy adrenaline orb tail glow circuitry.
We should have showed that replay. Honestly, that was
it was cool. Go watch the replay if you want. It was Leezy versus Dorky. Poor Dorky, by the way, came in relief last season to take over a roster for somebody who dropped. Gets 6-0'd immediately by Shell Smash, and now his first battle with a real team that he actually gets to draft, and he gets 6-0'd by a stupid Christmas tree.
Tail glow adrenaline.
Yeah, I think if you ignore the week 1 standings here, it's just Lethal Blue is an 8th, maybe 7th with Budhara switched.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, what?
Like because we like the Hustle, we're about to see the Hustle standings. I haven't updated that yet. So like if you just pretend the week 1 standings are here, my boy Lethal Blues has a playoff spot.
If the week 2 hasn't happened, okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah. I know some trades have happened though. I'm pretty sure Skyhops now is Rain.
Yeah, well that was before the roster review.
Oh, was it? Oh, you're right. You're right.
It
was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm.
that's our
Yeah,
form
don't
division.
worry about me. Don't check my Don't watch my
Don't look
replays
at
or
Dodie.
anything. Like I'm not. You don't have to worry about me. Don't do any studying for the matchup or anything.
Yeah. It's all good.
I'm just a bad
Nobody
player.
cares about your matches anyways.
Yeah, I'm like 14th place. You don't have to look at.
Yeah,
you don't have to
we're chilling.
really
We're chilling.
scout too much.
Don't worry. Just underestimate him. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, we're gonna
On to hustle.
Yeah, on the hustle.
Sweet. All right. What do we got?
We
What do
got
you guys
We got
thoughts on
Ursulina Blood Moon down here. I mean,
Yeah,
Race Man
so
clearly
Ursulina
just, like, the
didn't
worst
come to
player,
week one.
but, you know, it is what it
He
is.
actually didn't bring Ursulina week one. Who did he play against? He played Jortson. Jortson also played out of his mind. He had
that was
some crazy
that was a
stats.
good game.
There
So
was
with the-
growth Diplin and stuff. Like it was pretty crazy.
Like the hustle standings is always interesting to me because I think anyone here, like every matchup, I think is a 50-50.
Mhm.
Like anyone can win against anybody.
I mean,
It's all
Monkey
pretty
Boy,
even.
like,
So
Monkey
yeah,
Boy,
so
like,
regardless,
you kind of want
I
to
like-
lose, but like odds-wise, yeah, it's probably pretty 50-50.
I got murdered by a Terrifier Dundar Spars. That was fun.
That was heat.
I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, that was literally the best thing he could have brought there, and it mixed me.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the week one right fucking now?
Week one right fucking now into 6-0 is Shark and Max. Max, who this isn't
There,
updated,
yeah.
by the way, you can see.
Yeah, that was the Monday night Garchomp sweep.
That's right.
But Max is actually all 12 of his KOs have been from 2 high-tier dragon types. He's been 6-0'd by
Oh, no.
Garchomp.
Oh, that's
and
right, because
and
you
all
didn't
of the
upload
6
his second
kills on
match.
today's match for Max have been from Gliscor.
Wait.
No, they're from.
Not Gliscor,
Roaring
Roaring
Moon.
Moon, sorry. In fact, we're going to do some speed marking here, boys.
True.
Live marking.
Which is
It's almost like
surprising.
he already
Max has
did it.
2 fairy types. I didn't want to talk too much about the battle because I figure it might be something to watch next week because I think it was a pretty good game.
That's
Maybe
right,
I'm
'cause it was a
biased
week
because
two,
I think I
yeah.
played well personally, but I think Max.
Let's hold off. Let's
Played
wait
him
because
well,
it
too.
is a week 2 matchup, so
Yeah, cool.
we can talk. Even if it's not one of the replays, we can just talk about it then.
Yeah.
Um,
Max, I'm not gonna relegate you, dude. Chill. I mean, unless you actually like 08 or something, in which case I would consider it. But I know you're good, man. That's the problem with everybody. I know everybody's good. Like even Corey, who got relegated this season. I know Corey's good, but something just had to happen. So
just a
I don't
reminder:
know.
Z crystals and Z moves are banned. Don't use them.
That's true.
Hey, look at the standings now. They've updated. Look who's in first.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
Let's go.
Isn't
I'm only
it
plus 4.
curious? Isn't it curious that the organizer, the commissioner of the league, somehow is undefeated?
You should have seen
Might
the start
be
of last
something
season.
to look into. Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at last season. I was like 04.
He started
03.
out in like 16th place.
Yeah. Well, that was like Harry in the chat. So he's DJ Red Lantern.
Yeah.
I doxed, by the way, because you could just read his full name. And,
Oh
but it's, in our league when we were all getting into it, he just like knew way more about draft than us. So he pretty much would go undefeated every season, but like we would all be learning and like getting up there and like mixing up our rankings. And I was telling my friend at work about it, and we'd be on like season 3 of him still undefeated pretty much until like the very end of
Wow.
season 3. And I'm like explaining this and be like, oh yeah, my week next week is against the guy who's undefeated. So I'm like kind of writing that one off. Otherwise, this is what I have to do to get the playoffs, whatever. And it's like, isn't that kind of suspicious that the guy who's in charge of this whole thing somehow is just winning everything? It's like, well, it doesn't really work like that because
It's just a form of cathartic stress relief where he beats up on
Yeah.
his friends.
But you know what? I think that kind of leads into it. Is if you just assume going into your week against the undefeated guy, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You kind of don't try, and then they continue the streak because their
Right.
opponent didn't try against them.
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly. They kind of like write that off as like the week off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at this point, I've beaten him in a couple. Once I think. So yeah, it's
Sheesh.
pretty.
What would you say your record is against them overall?
1-7 or 8.
Oh no. All good.
We've played 5 seasons, and 2 or 3 of them were twice through round robin. I beat him once in the regular season, I think, and then I
Did you
lost
play him last season in NBA?
Well,
No,
because
we didn't.
DJ got
DJ
promoted
was
to
in
hustle.
hustle last.
Oh right.
season.
What about season 1?
Season 1 we did not play. We were in the same division, but we didn't play, which was nice because then we could, help each other with team building and stuff, and never have to worry about
Yeah, and
facing
play
each
other
other.
people.
Yeah.
It's nice too when you come from a kind of like a homegrown, like home league, right? Which I know you guys are part of, and you guys have been drafting for a long time in kind of like your, quote unquote home league. And then you branch out with other people that are pretty chill, but like you get to see how other people are playing and building and drafting. You get to actually get like more opinions and stuff other than you're kind of like in circle of like, this is how we draft, this is how we build. And you get to see a lot of other like good players' perspectives.
Well, especially too if like again in this example where Harry watches all the YouTubers and stuff, and at the time a lot of us hadn't watched them, so pretty much all of our opinions on what's good, what's not, just set wise or even specific mon wise, was kind of based on like his opinions of that. And so we had kind of like just this general idea in our league of like, oh, this is what's good, this is what's bad, this is what we need to draft, this is how things need to be priced. And then we come here and it's cool to hear like so many more people, just the volume of people, not even skill levels, just the volume of people, so that you have a better idea of like, oh, this is a really obvious common good set for this mon, and this is a niche set. So some of the sets that we thought were like, oh, this is like a super sick niche set that like nobody's gonna expect, it's like, oh, every other person runs that on that mon and draft because it's that good in draft, so it's like, it's cool to see that, because it lets you prep better to like whether or not you should assume that somebody's expecting something or if it's like actually off the wall, so.
yeah that's true. That's a good take. Well, I think that's all we've got for standings and I guess just general conversation. We did have a couple announcements. Toady, if you want to take the stage.
Yeah, so I'll go first here. So we got a couple ideas coming up here for how we can spice up these replay reviews specifically. Mentioned earlier, one of the ways that we're doing that is, of course, letting you guys have a voice in which replays we review. We'll probably do 3 every week again, like 1 from each division. Maybe we'll do 1 or 2 more based on nominations. Maybe we do 3 of our choice, 1 from each division, and then 1 or 2 voted on choices that could be from any division, right? Like, we don't know how that's going to work yet. It'll depend on how.
And sometimes there's a lot of hype matches, right? So
yeah, exactly. So there are matches even now, like I said, like that we're going through, be like, oh, that would have been a cool one to show, but like it doesn't mean that the ones that we showed weren't good replays to show, right? So might be an option to do more of those. The next thing, so this is an idea that's kind of in workshop mode right now. I want to get some opinions on it. Might send out a poll. Might just do something in Discord where you're like check marking or pressing the X just to get ideas or gauge interest. I'm sure most of you, or at least many of you, have watched the kind of presentation level of MV and PokeAim and all them doing their leagues on YouTube. Obviously, we don't have like the expectation to like make content for your own matches like they do, because they have to do that every week. But something that I thought would be cool and might also help with getting the behind the scenes look at team building, especially in a format that you might not see as much on YouTube in Nat decks, because they're all running like current deck stuff on cart, would be to have volunteers. It would just be 1 match per week, so not 1 for each division, just 1 match per week, and you would know ahead of time when you're doing it. That is, you volunteer, you and the person that you're facing have to agree, and you volunteer to do a voiceover. So you're just recording yourself in Team Builder, basically. Screen record. It's really easy to do if that's something you're concerned with. That's something that's really easy to show you how to do it. Screen record, give a little breakdown of your team, why you're bringing what you're bringing, and then during your match, just record a voiceover while you're playing. Like you're not live streaming it or anything. You're just recording your thoughts, your live gameplay of that. And then I will take those recordings from both sides and compile them into one video. So we see the team builder side from both sides, and then we see the match flipping back and forth between perspectives at key moments, that sort of thing. So it'd just be, again, it's something that you volunteer for. And again, both you and the opponent would have to do it. So it's not required by any means if you don't want to record it, if you don't want to reveal your secret strats or how you team build or anything, whatever. But it's something that's fun where it's like, theoretically, if you're a good enough player, having the team builder being shown shouldn't be a detriment, considering those guys do it all the time, on YouTube, and they still are able to build good teams that are consistent. I mean, that's just part of team building, is being consistent. So that's something that I'll post an interest kind of forum for it, especially if you're playing against like one of your friends that would be comfortable with that, and you don't mind dunking on in your team builder session. That's something that you can do. Or if it's a match where like you worried you might like rage or like punch your screen or something, just don't do that match. Do one where it's like going to be more fun. But again,
we'll see. We'll gauge interest. Yeah. We'll explain it a bit better later. Have something kind of written out that describes what we're really like, what our objective is here. And it'll be a little easier to understand.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody's familiar too with like MV and AIM's content too, so.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be exactly like that. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, Roy's
just
saying
a bit of
a
like a camera looking inside like somebody's head as they're building against an opponent, and then being able to juxtapose that with their opponent also building for them. Yeah, I think it would be fun to have a little collage of that.
Yeah, and you get an idea of how people are thinking. And for to your point, Royce, it's like it's going to be similar to these kinds of streams where it's not really meant for the broader audience right now. Like it'll be posted, but it's more for you guys, like to watch each other's thoughts. So.
Yeah. And announcement 2, we touched on it a little bit last week. We are hoping to start up a type of mentorship program where we'll have people doesn't have to be just in Hustle, but like people of good of draft experience will sign up to be a mentor and be assigned other people who are maybe new to the game or who are considering joining draft, or this is their first or second draft or whatever, and we'll pair you guys up and maybe hold your hand a little to give you some resources to help each other out. If you're feeling like you want to lend a hand to somebody who's learning, or if you feel like you maybe need an extra hand and don't know who to reach out to, and don't want to just DM the mods all season being like, oh, not that I have a problem with that, by the way, I'm totally fine to help you guys. But if there's like a designated person that's very clearly a mentor, you can reach out to them. Maybe we'll pair you up. So we're going to start some sort of initiative like that. There's nothing right now that we have for you, but watch out. Next week we'll have signups and everything next Wednesday when we stream. And maybe I'll just gauge some interest from some of you guys. If you guys are interested and know you'll be interested right away, maybe just like we can talk about this a bit in Discord. I think it'll be really good. I think the hype that the new players joining the NBA this season has really brought attention to like, hey, there's like a big wave of people who are interested in learning but don't know who to reach out to, so.
And it's a battle academy.
Exactly. It is a battle academy.
It's meant to be for people to come in who don't feel super confident in their abilities necessarily and try some stuff out, learn some stuff. And it's not required. You don't like if you want to do it on your own, by all means do it. Or if you don't feel comfortable, like, having somebody having your back on that and you don't want to like disappoint them, I don't know, whatever your reason might be, like you don't have to do it. And I know like some people, especially like I brought somebody into the league and Harry brought me into the league. Sometimes you already have that connection of somebody who's more experienced at it that'll be helping you build with stuff. But especially for people who might have just found the league by other means, or maybe the person who introduced you to it is somebody who's very busy with other things or already helping a bunch of other people, it might be easier to be like, hey, here's somebody who doesn't have somebody to train that wants to train somebody, and I am somebody who wants to be trained, and you might have that match. And it's not like it's not anything professional, it's just somebody to slap ideas by. It's kind of what the whole team building and skirmishes are for. It's just throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah, so we'll get more info out about that in the next week or so. I'm probably going to be busy up until like honestly next Monday or Tuesday, so it'll probably come out around stream time, might even be at or right after next week's stream. If you're interested, we'll talk to you guys about that in the coming week or so.
I would say anticipate it for going live after next stream, because then we'll be prepping stuff ahead of time for that. Just have it on your mind if it's something that you're interested in, and definitely have it in mind if you're interested in doing the replay breakdown like voiceover thing, because that's something that you would want to maybe establish ahead of time with somebody that you would be planning on doing it with. Because again, even if it turns out that the people who want to do the matches together that have agreed that like, oh, this week works for us, it happens to be the same week as somebody else, it doesn't matter. These ones don't have to be the same week as they happened. It can just be a certain number of them that we want to do, and we'll show one each week, right? So.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all we've got for this week. That's pretty good. I like the length of this stream. It took a bit under an hour and a half. I think we'll try and keep streams to around this time, like an hour and a half. I think that'll be good for the future. Any final words? Anybody else?
Nope. I had fun tonight.
Yeah, I think it was a good time. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Play myself as the number one fan.
True.
Lee's got D&D.
Yeah, Lee at D&D. I thought he was going to show up before it started, but it's okay.
That's why he's not.
Wednesdays honestly don't work the best for him, so I'm not convinced he's going to be around for every time, but that's okay.
That's fine.
All right, well, thanks everybody for coming out. It was fun, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. And we won't say anything to you until next week, so don't even try to talk to us in chat. All right? So
yeah, forever until next week.
All right. See you guys.